Welcome back to the channel, and we're going to be taking a look at doing this example here using Solidworks. Now, one of the differences I want to point out to you is that here in Solidworks, we will have this chamfer command built into the actual hole command. So that is something that you don't see in a program like Inventor or even AutoCAD. So we're going to jump over to Solidworks and let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so let's go ahead and select here the new icon, and then we're going to select the part, and then we'll hit OK. And from this point, we'll give Solidworks a little bit of time to load up the actual program. Okay, so once it's ready to go, I'm going to start off here with the Sketch tab, and then I'll go ahead and select Sketch. I'm going to select here the front plane. Then I'm just going to create a circle. I'm going to place it right here at the center. And then I'll just kind of give it the preview of the size that I need. Let's go ahead and hit escape. And then place a dimension on this one. I'm going to click on this edge. And you can see, depending on how you move this cursor, your dimension will be either vertical, but you got to kind of rotate it up in order to get it to show up as a leader. So I'll go ahead and click here. And then I'll type in what the diameter of this circle will be, which is going to be a distance of 70. And go ahead and hit enter. All right. So that should be all that we need for this one. Let's go ahead and hit the escape button here. And then we're going to exit out of here by selecting this icon here. Or I could have also done that in the right click. Let's go ahead and kind of rotate this sideways. And then I'm going to select this feature here. And I'll choose the Extrude Boss Base. Once the command comes up, I'm going to use the mid plane. And that's going to be to make this thing go symmetric. So therefore, I'm selecting mid-plane here. And the distance that I'm going to set this at is going to be equal to 10. Once that is okay, go ahead and click the check mark here to OK that command. Now we're ready to start sketching out these holes, right? So I can do it like I kind of did in Inventor, where I created it all as one sketch, or I can do a multiple of sketches. So here in SolidWorks, I'm going to make it a multiple of sketches. So I'm going to select this face here. And then I'll select here to create a new sketch. I'll do exactly like I did there in the first step by just drawing a circle. And then I'll place it here. And then I need to give it the size of this one. So I'm going to start off by creating the Counterbore circles first. So I'll go with my smart dimension. Click this circle here. Once again, I'll get to the outside here. And then this one is going to have a diameter of 32. So let's go ahead and type in 32 there. And hit enter. I'm also going to make this construction, so let's go ahead and escape out of any commands you are. Go ahead and select that circle. You can do a right click, and then you can select this icon here, and that's just going to make it a construction. We'll go ahead and select the point. I'm just going to select on my circle here. Let's go ahead and hit the escape button here. Then I'll select this point, hold down the shift button, and select this center point here. I can let go of the the shift button here, give it a second, and I'll select the make vertical. So both of those are in line with each other. Let's go ahead and hit the escape button. And then we're going to exit out of the sketch. And now we're going to take a look at creating our first counterbore hole here using our SolidWorks here. So I'm just going to go ahead and select the hole wizard. Once again, I'm underneath the features tab here. Here in a second, we're going to have it load up here, and it should automatically find this point here. And if it don't, there's nothing to it. We just have to select it if it doesn't. So you can see that it automatically found that. Now here underneath the selections, I want to create a counterbore circle that's going through all, right? So this first icon here is my counterbore. So I'm going to select here. Now it's asking me about some different sizings and things of that nature. I'm just going to tell this to not show again and tell it just to keep the custom sizing. The only reason it's giving me that is because this box is checked. So if this box here is unchecked, it's assuming that you're going to use some of the stuff that is standard in here. But we have a custom size of this. I don't know if there's any bolt or things of that nature, so I'm just going to go ahead and go with the custom sizing. So once I select here in the custom sizing, what you're going to see is that this first one shows the diameter of the circle that's on the inside, right? So the very smallest circle is going to be set to 5. Here is going to be my larger circle, and in this example, it should be set to 10. And then this third option here is going to be the depth. So this tells me how far I want to drop this down, which is going to be a distance of 5. Now, in order to go ahead and place this chamfer on here, you're going to have to use one of these options. So what do you want that countersink on? On the near side, which is the side that it's approaching, which will be here on the top, or do you want it on the far side underneath the countersink and things of that nature? So I'm just going to go ahead and specify here that I want it on the near side. Now here's the tricky part. I want the countersink, and remember that it's set to 90 degrees, and what that means is that it's going to be 45 degrees. It's kind of weird how you got to think about that, but the 45 is if you're rotating that 90 at 45 degrees, and then it'll give me 45 on both sides. But it's a little weird and complicated, but just keep in mind that if you want to create a 45 chamfer, go ahead and leave this number set to 90. Now this is going to be the challenging number. So in our case, our chamfer distance is 0.5. Now remember that we got to count that on both sides. So whatever your chamfer distance is, go ahead and just multiply it by 2. For us in this example, it's really easy. 0.5 multiplied by 2 is simply 1. And then I'm just going to add that to my big diameter here. So 1 plus whatever your largest diameter here is, in our case, is going to be 10. So I'm just going to make this number 11. Once I go ahead and hit the enter button, you're going to see that that chamfer will appear. We already have our position set. Let's go ahead and hit the check mark here. And then we should have that hole drilled into our part here. Let's just do a simple click off of it. And you can see that I did create that counterbore hole. Let's go ahead and make the next hole here. So I'm going to do the exact same steps. I'm just going to go ahead and select this face. Select sketch. Go ahead and draw a circle. I'll place that circle here at the center. Go ahead and give myself a preview of it. Then we're going to go to our smart dimensionings. We'll go ahead and select this circle. We will place our dimension. And then this one should have a distance of, looks like 54. Okay. So once we have that selected, and you can see that this time it created my dimension vertically. It's because I kind of went a little fast, but it's still exactly the same thing. Let's hit the escape button and get out of the command. Let's go ahead and select this line here. And then I'll go ahead and select the referencing. All right, we're going to go to the point. I'll select here on my circle. Hit escape. I'm going to select that point. Hold down the shift button. Go find that center point there. Let go of the shift button. And then I'll select the make vertical. All right, so now I have this in position again. Let's go ahead and exit the sketch. We're going to go back to the hole command. So we'll hit the hole wizard. This time we do not have a counterbore circle. So we're just going to have a regular drilled circle, but it's still going to have that chamfer at the top. So we'll get another chance to approach and look at how to create that chamfer. Okay, I thought I hit the command here, but now I just did. Okay, so what we want to do, and it should find that position, and if it don't, it's going to be easy enough for us to simply select that position. Let's kind of rotate this to the side. And I'll go to position, and I'll go ahead and select this face, and I'll go ahead and place it right on that position there. All right, let's go back to the type. And so now you can see before it's going to repeat the last things that we had. We had a counterbore circle. This time I just want a regular drilled circle, which is going to be here. So you're going to see that this change here in the front. I'm going to use the custom dimension size, and this circle is going to be 8.6. And just like we did before, our chamfer is easy for us. It's 0.5, so I'm just multiplying that times 2 and then adding it to here, right? So that answer for this one should be 9.6 because it simply just changed it to 1. And I think we satisfied everything. We got all of this situated, and we do have the position. Once I go ahead and hit the check mark, you should see that it will create that circle with that chamfer on it. All right, so let's finally go ahead and create the last one here. I'm trying to figure out why this is actually showing up here. And it should be hidden. But I'll go ahead and take care of that here in a second. Let's go ahead and hide you. All right. Let's go ahead and place our last circle on here. Now, I don't really need a sketch for this one. It's right there in the center. Let's go ahead and come back here to the features. If I just go directly to the hole wizard, and I'm going to go ahead and specify the position first here in this example. So once the command comes up, we're going to click on position. I'm going to select this face. And then it's looking for the center. Luckily for us, it's right here at the origin. So I'll select that origin. Then I'll come back and specify type. All right. Now, once again, this circle is nothing more than a drilled circle. It has a huge diameter. In our case, it's going to be 16. So I can either find that size here, but I'm going to stick with my custom sizing. I'll go ahead and make it 16. And then here is that same thing we did before. So I'm just adding 1 to this number here, which is going to make that 17. I think we have satisfied everything. Let's go ahead and hit the check mark. And now you should see that we have that part, or that hole actually created through our part. All right, so here for the last step, we need to go ahead and put 2 basic circular patterns around here. So let's go to circular pattern. It's going to ask me, hey, you need to specify what you want to do. So the feature that I'm going to specify, I'm just going to click this drop down here, and it should give me my browser here. I'm going to specify that hole. I'm going to come here and click where it says direction, and I'm just going to select here. Now it should give me a preview of 6 of those. I'm just going to change this number to 4. Go ahead and hit the OK button here. And I may have an extra sketch that I have to delete. That's kind of what this is showing. Let's go ahead and right click on that and delete it now and see if it tears up anything. If it does, we will come back and deal with it later. Okay, it looks like it's going to do some damage to something. So I'm just going to hit cancel on that and leave it alone. All right, let's go ahead and do a circular pattern here on the next one. So let's go here to the drop down, choose circular pattern. Once the command appears, we're going to find our feature here. I'm just going to select here to give me my browser. I'm going to find the Counterbore circle. I'm going to select here where it says direction. I'll just click on here on the outside, and it should automatically pick those up. Let's go ahead and change this number to 6. And then once we hit the check mark, we should have a completed part here. And we do. Okay. So now I'm just going to hit the space bar. And remember, with the space bar, I can select that little icon there. That's what's going to put it in an isometric view. And hopefully you enjoyed watching this one. This has had some good commands, especially with the whole one. I do want to apologize for having that extra sketch there. And I do want to get rid of it. And it's driving me crazy. But in this video, I'll let that go. Okay? So thank you for watching. And as always, keep drafting. And see you in the next video.